today?
Oh, Kayla, I'm doing much better.
Yeah, it's been well, we had a great night.
We had a very great night.
Great
I,
night.
I've been having nothing but good days, I tell you, but I had, and sometimes they're fantastic and some are more better, but generally, I got a good life.
Yeah, yeah.
And we had a great time last night.
Great time celebrating Leo season
Yeah, you're going to celebrate the whole month?
all month.
Uh,
All month. I'm already tired. I'm not as young as I used to be.
uh,
I
no,
said, I'm not as young as I used to be. So we're gonna see how it works.
go see how that works out.
We're gonna see how it works out. Well, I just want to jump in because I was out, we were out doing our different things trying to get this woman in this election, trying to get her in this seat. And I saw your video. But before we get into all the mess. It is 28 days left. 28 days left for this early election. What I hope that everybody knows, and the purpose of a piece of this video today is that everybody understands they have to register to make sure they're registered to vote in this special election. Right?
So, um, I think you have until August 11th. I don't have my papers up
Right.
here,
But
but
that's like 4 days.
yeah, just a few
4 days away
days.
from making sure you're registered to vote. So the push to make sure that the people that want to vote can vote and ready to vote for the September 9th election. So I just want to make sure that, we put that out there, repeat that multiple times. If you are not registered, make sure you go to the supervisor of elections and have that conversation with them. Just go to their office, deal with it. You got to make sure you are registered to vote for this special election. And a lot of people still don't know that there's an election. Like,
I know that's, to me, that is just the strangest thing to me when I'm out talking to the people
mhm,
and they're asked what election, and I say, I city councilwoman passed, and they do. Some people do know that. I say, so we have to fill that seat. So this is what the election is for, and then they're like, oh, okay, yeah. Then I have to explain to them who's all in the race. Most of them don't know. They might know one or two names. Um, then I go on and explain my candidate and why we think she's the best person. But also, I want to let particularly our seniors, if you want to do the mail-in ballot, you have to do that now too,
right,
because we have to renew that every election period. It
right,
used to just automatically come out to you. Um, but now you have to really call. And I called in because I tried to do it online. You could do it online, but for some reason I couldn't get it. And I called in, and I mean, it was less than 2 minutes.
mm,
It's just really no excuse for us not to participate and then, you know, cry or complain when we're not getting what we want.
right. And a
Because
big piece of that,
yeah, because really the politicians don't take us serious because we don't come out and vote heavily like we should be engaged. So it is important that everybody vote. And and really, I can remember when I was growing up, we couldn't wait to get 18 to register to vote. So
well, it
none,
was something that was discussed.
it's
It
like
was
a
of importance.
rite of passage. So none of our kids should we should allow their 18th birthday. Then I think you could pre-register at 17. Because I think
Only
that's when,
you're filtering.
yeah.
You were filtering for a second, but I heard you. But that was something that was taught in your household.
Yes, 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 yes. Because we was engaged
Voting was
always.
important. So,
Yeah.
you know, you talking to people that may not be as involved, or they may not have been, because maybe you weren't raised that way, but if you're living in District 5, paying bills in District 5, own a home in District 5, own a business in District 5, involved in District 5, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, your aunt in District 5, you may want to know a little bit about what's going on in that district.
You
But
want
tell
to know.
them what
Yes.
affects you.
Yeah.
Like, what are your conversations every day? Like, what kind of people are you around every day that you don't know what's affecting you around you? Like, I don't understand that. Maybe you're not as involved in politics and, oh, you don't do the whole civic and get. I just want to know, like, what are your discussions like? What are you talking
Well,
about on the day to day?
before, you could give people maybe a little pass because they say stuff like this, and it really has been. It's not true, but it is their truth. They're gonna do what they want to do. Nothing ever changed. And when you see that nothing that they could see change, but we who are involved do see there is small changes,
Right.
but it's not changes that maybe you could see, but we know there is change.
Because we're watching how things progress.
Yes.
So we're there, we're watching
and we're following, so we know we see the change, but
right,
the people don't see the change.
right,
And we do need to see the change. And
right.
we even working towards that. We want to see things. We want to see all of our parts. I mean, we pay a lot in taxes just like everyone else. I want to see the sidewalks, potholes and things fixed. I want to see our green spaces looking nice, cap up, not grass overgrown. My mother was an advocate. She used to love to go to our neighborhood park, William Park, and she used to love to go on the trail on Osborne, just walk around. And sometimes she'd catch me and she'd say, "Hey, come go walking with me." And I hate the walking, right? And so one day I did go with her. And she says, "Oh, I'm gonna have to call the mayor." The pond, they had tires in it. It was just awful looking. And she says, "I don't want to walk out here and see this stuff." And she shouldn't have to. It is their job to keep it clean.
Mm-hmm.
And she made sure those areas, if Aunt's beds was somewhere and she wanted to stop and do the exercise thing, can't have that. Because why put it there if we're not going to keep it up?
Right. But, a lot of people are not as engaged. Life is life and they're busy. The kids, this, that, nothing's going as well as it should be. And so they don't have the time. And I understand they don't have the time. So I feel obligated to make sure that the voices are amplified of those that are a part.
Absolutely.
So that's
because
why
everybody's not going to do it, but the people who do it, then those who don't, you have to get behind the people who know the issues, who will push the agenda instead of this BS we've been going through.
Listen, so moving on to so everybody, remember, you got until August 11th to make sure you're registered to vote. Remember, this is a special election. And if you are in District 5, care about people in District 5, work, play, sleep, whatever, in District 5, and you're registered to vote and you can vote in District 5, you need to tell everybody they need to vote. This seat is very important. And the next steps of what happens in this district is on you. Like, it goes down in this election right here. These next 15 months is on you. It sets the tone for what will happen in the next election. So the seat is very important, and it's obvious that people are aware. Unfortunately, for the last 18 months, 17 months, we've not had much representation. When you go back to what took place prior to this last election, we had a representative that was all over this district trying to make sure they heard from the people in the district so that they could put in motion things that will help the people in the district. Right. So last 17, 18 months, I don't know what they was doing. So I had gotten myself accustomed to working through 4 or 5 votes outside of them, because they ain't coming over here. They're not going to do anything to help, at least not from me. So if somebody can sit up there in that dais and act as if they're going to ignore what I have to say, then I'm going to just let them understand, I don't need you. You're one vote. I condition myself to work around, push the issues through the other people in that area until I have a representative. Well, unfortunately, they passed away prematurely. Now the seat is open. We do need representation. No volunteer, no advocate should be out here working as hard as many of you do to try to push the initiative and make sure these things happen because they're getting paid to do a job. We've allowed a seat to sit up there 16, 17, 18 months and then do nothing to move the community forward. Unfortunately.
Let's give her, I don't know if we're going to cut her some slack or just state some facts, okay? She didn't know what that position entitled.
Why sign up for it?
Well, we don't know why she signed up for it. But the fact of the matter is, we see that now. She didn't understand that you needed to study the budget, understand the budget, push for the agenda. She didn't understand. But I do believe by watching, because I didn't really go down to city council, but we watch it every Thursday. The ladies in the shop, I try to keep all of them informed, so we have it on. And I could see little changes that she kind of was recognizing, hey, because she wasn't a dumb woman. It, and it took about 2 years till she got there to the light came on and said, something isn't right here. But still, it was out of her league. And that's just the bottom line. And we just have to understand that. It's neither good nor bad. It was out of her league. Now, would she might have grown into the seat? Maybe. But at who expense? At our expense. And we don't have time for that. We just simply do not have time for that right now.
We already took a loss, remember? We could have had 25 or 30% of the revenue for the small disadvantaged small businesses, Black-owned businesses in our district. We lost 11% because of ignorance, because you didn't understand.
Well, because she didn't understand.
Because you don't know
the importance. And she knew nothing about politics. That's the first thing. You knew nothing about politics. You know really nothing about Black business inside
economic development.
She knew nothing about that.
Follow the orders of who gave them to you.
Right. So whoever is giving her saying, let's move forward because this deal is going to be shut down. That deal was never going to be shut down. It wasn't going to be shut down. And she just believed what the people was telling her.
Right. As crazy as it sounded.
Right. And it didn't, even that for people to say, this is something I'm giving you. No, this was done way before you got here, sister. Now, we're all adults. Why lie? You didn't do anything to this. You didn't have to push anything forward.
No.
This thing was done, and 5 or maybe 6 of those city council people was going to move that forward. Maybe one might have had an issue with it, but it wasn't like it wasn't going to get moved forward.
Right. So you did nothing. You won't stand on that.
And you want credit for it. No,
right. We're not doing that.
No, you didn't do that. That was an easy move. The next move was fighting to make sure that minorities, Black-owned contractors got the 25%.
And we left at
$40 million worth of work in East Tampa, and the people that look like us don't get to eat. Are you crazy?
Right. We got a measly $4 million.
We got to be thankful. No, we got the biggest deal in the 21st century. You're going to say you got to be thankful, sister? No, see, ill-advised.
Which is why this seat now we can't afford Ricky moves.
No,
we can't afford the mistakes. We can't afford, and even now as they move projects forward, there's still no major discussion about that 25 to 30% mandatory set aside in these projects because of what's happening nationally. We have to make sure we controlling what's happening locally. And so that person needs to be aware of what should and should not be happening for this district. They lead the conversation.
Fortunately, we do have 2 city council. Even I could remember back when they were all down, James Ransom and everyone was arguing their point, either for not signing the contract that day and pushing to so they could get 25% of the contracts, or you had someone say, hey, let's go with what we have now. And I'm not going to say someone. Michelle Patty was saying, let's go. We're tired of waiting. Let's move it forward now. Hell, we have been waiting 6, 7, 8, 9 years. You're telling me a couple of months isn't going to
couple months ain't gonna hurt nothing. But look at the brain that's saying that.
Absolutely.
Look, let's process that. Let's process that for a moment. Bishop, no church, no members,
wow.
No physical building, no members, and haven't had a long record of nothing. No building, no members. Processing a $40 million deal. You can't even negotiate a building. But yet, the forefront in an area you don't pay taxes in, and you're speaking the loudest and wrong. We need a representative that can lead that conversation, but our members in the community need to be educated enough to know they don't represent you.
Well, the first thing we might have to do is understand when someone picks someone like her with really not the qualification to be able to talk that language. You have to ask, why are they doing this?
What's the motive?
What's the motive? Is it to benefit the community
that they don't live in
as an honest broker, or is it to, or are you there to do the job of the contractor or the mayor or whoever asking you to push this narrative? But the people have to understand that this woman isn't speaking in your best interest.
Well, they know that by now. She has no food.
Apparently not, because goddamn it, they keep falling for the okie doke, and these people are saying it is just so easy to do it to them. It is just it's almost crazy.
So that's why this seat is so important. This seat is so important because we're not accepting that. Anybody that has hired a crook, anybody that has hired a deceived, a twisted mind person that's calling themselves a bishop, no certification, no real credential, bought it off Amazon. And it's apparent because they don't have a building. Let's just trace the fruit. Try the spirit by the spirit, whatever you want to call it. Look at the fruit. There's nothing dangling off of there for you to pull from. So we can't let somebody that's that absent-minded or lack the necessary credentials or information to be able to help you move your community forward. They have no fruit. Name me one thing that they've done that's benefited the community as a whole. And I'm not talking about no fish fry because they got paid for that. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about downright benefited the community. Show me one thing.
Well, listen, to be fair, and I always try to be fair because I'm always wrestling with good and evil, right and wrong. I know, but I am always doing it, and I always try to be, because I love our community. I love white people. I love our community, our community. She's done a lot of good. She has.
Name one. Just give me one.
You got to read a bio.
Give me one that there was no compensation for.
Yes, in the beginning, when she started fighting for our community, she was a very good fighter, advocate on the ground. But then Play to Pay came into, and she stopped really fighting. She wanted to make money, and that's what I'm saying. But you
make your money in your business. But if you're gonna help the people, help the people. If you're gonna hurt them, go back. As Stephanie, our sister said, go back to brand.
But what I'm saying is, in the beginning, on the ground, with her and Connie Burton, when I first met her, anything went wrong, you could go to those two.
Well, I know, Miss Connie, you can't even say them two names in the same breath. Yes, two different advocates. Miss
Yes,
Connie has made many, many sacrifices for
yes,
many, many moons
yes,
for the people.
yes.
That over there
And
is too much wrong.
and
So you said they did a lot of good, and maybe they did, but you
she,
see how you can't name one. Now we can run a whole city block on
yes,
what
no,
Connie
but
Britton has
I could
done.
name many things that the woman did. What I'm trying to tell you is, in the beginning, it does not pay to be a civil right advocate, and you don't have any money. So then she went into consulting. Then they started getting behind campaigns and
Well, the
getting paid
ambulance chasing,
and getting
with
paid. And so she
giving
realized
them people
that
money.
she's going to do whatever she needs to do to help her candidate win, right or wrong. And that's where I have a problem with, particularly when you're saying you're representing God, or you religion, or you know, a preacher. I have a serious problem because you ain't walking both things, because she would do anything to win. She would do
Anything for money, anything to win, which is why anybody that's a real candidate, you vet whoever's going to represent you. Do
yes,
they line up with your values? Do
yes,
they line up with the service that you want to provide in the community? Do they have a track record of doing what you're saying you want done? And the answer, if you really dug in and did your homework, would probably be no. Go
mhm,
trace all the other candidates that they've supported and see that they slander those people. See if they stay consistent with the messaging. That's why the community said I allowed anybody that represents or is represented by this woman is automatically disqualified. We do not want your candidate because they represent the sickness that you are. Sick, twisted, evil mind, and we need a person that's ready to hit the ground and work.
yeah.
So, all of that being said, tell me about your day.
So I had to go to work today. Usually I don't work on Thursday, but I went in early. And when I finished my last customer, and another girlfriend came by the shop, and they say, "Hey, let's go to lunch." And I was like, "No, no, no," because I had some other plans. But they insisted I go to lunch with them. So I go to lunch with them. I get in the car with them. And so I get a call. And I get a call from my girlfriend. Like, we're sisters. We've been friends since, I think, 9 years old. And she lives in Northie Hills, okay? And Tuesday, my mom was going to get her she needed to go get a pedicure, and her assistant says, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to help me, just get her in the car and get her there." So I said, "Okay, we have to do it early because I had to go to work as well." So I had 2 hours to kill. And shout out to Lynn at Perfect 10, because she takes such good care of my mother, right? And so we dropped her off, and I realized that it was no signs in Northie Hills of Allison, just in my mom on her street in the Colton site. So I gathered up those signs, and I had already asked us how I was going to do it because I only had a few signs. I said, so I will put, and it was a few signs already out there. Ariel had her signs, and Fran Tate had her signs out there. And so I thought I needed like nine signs, because Ivy's going to put them, and I'd already said, and I'd started this strategy maybe 2 campaigns
Well,
before.
you don't have to share your strategy.
Okay. So, yes. So I had already decided what I was going to do. And so I was talking to my girlfriend. I said, well, I'm going to go put these signs up. The people was home because they're all seniors. I go knock on the door. Of course, they remember me once I tell them who I am, who my mom. Oh, yeah. And then I got to explain to them about the election coming up, explain to them about the candidates. And so then I asked, and first thing I did, because um, this particular person we're talking about, she's making a big deal out, oh, she's a Republican, she's a Republican. So I said, hey, let's tell that narrative. Yes, she is a conservative Republican. Nobody is trying to hide that she is a conservative Republican.
At all.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I don't have an itch. I don't have an issue with it. And so I was telling them, And so for most people, it was okay. Some people would, drill me a little bit longer. But oh yeah, put the sign out there. So I'm putting the signs. I was just taking pictures everywhere I put the sign because I was going to send it to our video lady, and if she needed to do anything, not for proof or not for anything like that, I took the picture, but I did not video our conversations talking to the people.
You
Now,
shouldn't have to.
right, I didn't think that it would, certainly that was Tuesday. Today is Thursday. So my girlfriend calls me today when I'm in the car, we're getting ready to go to lunch, telling me, oh, you're going to be so upset. All your signs are gone, particularly the one at her mother's house, right? And even I know I could put a sign there, but I still called them and said, hey, I want to put the sign here. Here's the candidate. And pretty much most of the seniors just, I write out the ballot and send it to them. And they go with what I say.
Right.
Now, every now and then they might notice, oh, is this correct? You have a Republican. I say, yes, I believe in this case, this will be the best way to go. Just trust me. And they do it. Okay. So I had one at her house and one at the house across the street. Talked to the lady. And when I got there today, so when I got the phone call, I was 38 high. I mean, I was livid. Because I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was out there for 2 hours in that goddamn hot sun, okay? And you gonna come and take up my sign? That is and I am very respectful because at one particular house where Ariel had her sign, I could have easily went in there and swayed those people to remove her sign. But she got there first. I didn't need it. But it was a spot that I particularly liked. And the people had just lost their mother. So I wasn't going to go do that. And I wasn't going to do that. I wouldn't have done that anyway, right? And I just said, hey, I'll get the house across the street. Because I know these people. Most of them are still original homeowners out there. The houses I was going for. And even if she had her sign in the yard, I'm not going to go say, okay, can I put my sign in the yard? I just wouldn't do that. So I see another house where my sign is. I know that guy. I don't know. I didn't even go bother him, right? Because it was at 2:00. I know he works from home, so I didn't want to disturb him. But our sign is where I left it. And she got her sign down by the mailbox, on the other side of the sidewalk. And I just like, this is just okay. This, to me, that, I mean, no morals, no character. No, I mean, listen, win at any cost.
And to do, okay, so wait,
and
I got a question.
On Sunday and preach about love and this and respect and always, and do this show and always talking about everybody else being disrespectful or rude or doing anything. Lady, you are the author of chaos.
And that's symbolic of the very enemy that if she ever preaching, is out of that book. You're describing the things that God hates. You are the very essence of those things.
I just said today, I am done. I am done with her. That is just the craziest thing. I was like, and then I say, well, where are the signs? Because if you remove them, I don't care. But I want the sign. Where's the sign? And the lady, and I asked the lady, but I could tell, and I videoed it. I told her about the video. I said, well, I'm going to put it on Facebook. And I could see in her eyes that she didn't want that. So I just said, okay, I stopped the video. Because she said the woman took the goddamn, and she told me, I said, well, who did you speak to? Because she did say she spoke to someone. And she said it was a woman. And so I said, whoa, I want to go live. And time I said that, she didn't want to go anymore. But I do have her, because I did it under just regular video. But when she said a woman, I wanted her to describe the woman to me. And she didn't want to do it. Then I just said, okay, never mind.
Or ring doorbell on that other house. We're going to look at it and see who that is.
Right.
But Mona, help me understand the whole, I might be slow.
Well, slow
What's so
you're not.
special about these signs? Because signs can't vote.
They believe that if you come, because you hear people all the time saying, "Oh, we see signs everywhere, everywhere," and flooding. And I realize that it doesn't matter how many signs you have out, is why I say we should strategically place these signs in certain spots,
Yeah.
because it's very, in my opinion, a waste of money to put, you're coming down the street and every house got the sign on it. Okay. When nobody, okay, and we got to stop being immature voters, because, I called you the other night. I said, I'm trying to do some research on Ariel. I can't find anything, and I know I'm not that good. Um, on Facebook, she got to have a Facebook page, or she has to have something before this election. Where is anything when her mother was running? I see none of that.
Yeah, she cleaned that page.
But how could you? Why? Why would you do that?
Well, let me ask you this, because this is gonna tell you why. There's a group that is challenging the address soon. Did they already do it? Did I let a cat out the bag? The mama sent an email not long before she died about the I don't know the context exactly. I'm thinking I remember concerning some of these young people want to be in progressive cities or something like that. And and she said her daughter lives in California in her email, not long before she died. So they want to challenge the address because that is before, used to, like Goods had to get out, or he got out because he didn't want to go through the whole arguing with them and spending money on the lawyer for just 15 months of office. He could just run again at another time. But in this case, they're saying there is the email that the mom sent out, request or sharing, communicating with a different group that shares that the daughter lived in California.
Yeah,
So
but
she
that.
may have cleaned the page so that we didn't know that's where she lived, because they are 100% certain and they have the email that shows.
Well, I do know, because talking. I do a lot of deltas. I do a lot of AKAs here. So apparently, when she ran, for when she was on the line for Delta, it was during the pandemic. So she just recently became a Delta, and they did it online. And they said at that time she was in California. And I don't know if that's where she lived, but she probably still registered at her mother's. Is that where she went to school? No, because she went to Howard.
Well, I don't know, but a lot of people have a different address as the voter registration address. But what they're trying to verify is the address, the residency, the where is that, and that I think that's where the challenges. But I mean, if Florida Politics did it for Gould, they can do it for her. Whoever they're running it through, I'm not sure who that is, but I know that there was discussion about verifying that address, and so that could be why she cleaned her page. I mean, people want to connect with their candidate. They want to go and see.
Yeah, I mean, people have to be able to go do some research. What were you doing before, whenever this started?
Yeah, where was your track record of service?
And I've gone back and checked all the candidates just to see what we're doing, prepping on candidates. It was just something I was doing. And it was very strange. And I says, and I remember calling you. Do I have her name right? Am I spelling in the right? What is going on? Because all I see is the campaign page. But for her to be so young, she definitely would have to have some type of presence in Facebook. And
yeah, I personally, I do think the page was clean, but whatever. Maybe it was some inappropriate behavior because they did share that there were some things that the community would be concerned about, which, hey, it is what it is. People live their life the way they live their lives.
No, it's not, because see, these are things that are doing what they might say attacks, but fights. And we have to know, because we cannot get here and say oh, we didn't know. We have to be informed in voters, okay? Because yes, we all might feel bad. We all do feel bad that her mother passed. But it does not mean that she just get to sit in the seat. She haven't done anything. She doesn't know anything.
You hadn't done anything, and honestly, there's not a whole lot of track record for what the mama did. So there's nothing for you.
The mom did great things. I think in
that city council seat.
No.
Right. No, I don't care about anything great outside of that city council. I don't give a. I don't care what you did in life. I'm happy you did wonderful, great, amazing.
Yeah.
But that city council role, we got to keep the main thing.
Yes.
As far as that city council role, you can't bring in what you did in your life in that role and think that we're gonna say you were a great city council member just because of being sympathetic. We need to make sure we keep the that seat to be something that moves forward. And this is not something you can have a legacy on. Like there's no legacy you're a public servant. Now you can go be one too, but if you were really honoring somebody's legacy, you probably go be a teacher somewhere. That's their legacy. That you continuing that. That was something new. This is brand new, 15, 16 months. There's no legacy for you to continue. And so
I was like, somebody needs to tell her the definition of legacy. We cannot use that word. We can't use it.
It sounds crazy, but hey, I'm not the campaign manager. Whatever work, baby doll. If you want to be the legacy, you can be the chief. If you want chief legacy, you can be whatever. But it's not appropriate for this role. So my thing is, when they spend so much time on the candidates that they're running against, I like to talk about my candidate.
I know, right?
Who I elected. Like, I know what they have going on. And I'm trying to be nice today to say all this little stuff to get this out the way. But we can go on and 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 on for this city council role that she overqualified for. Hewitt will do it. We can go on all day for the candidate. Like, I really don't care what them people doing in their candidacy. I wish them all well.
We are laser focused on our candidate.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what are these people doing? All they're talking about is the other candidate.
Right.
Like, I look at they show, at that whole show, they never said that girl name.
Well, Allison Hewitt will do it, been doing it, can do it, all of that in your neighborhood, for your neighborhood, in your community, for your businesses. Like, she can do it. I'm super excited to have a person in that seat with the level of experience and the credentials and the desire to move the community forward. Anybody that'll read 1,000 pages of a budget, so that they can help the people that's supposed to know the budget understand the budget better, and so they can make good decisions when things come their way. Like, they love what they do, especially when they're not getting paid.
Right. And we know this, and most of the community, those that know what she has done. But I pulled something up on my phone because my daughter, I have her helping me with the research and stuff. And she's like, oh, Mom, this is very impressive. She's very impressive. And she says, but it's about 4 or 5 people who are, impressive. But she's with her. And she says, we should start saying, because, I mess up a phrase. She's not new to this. She's not new to this.
She's not new to this. She's true to this.
And that's it. And I hear her say that all the time. And I'm like, okay. But I think it's a little slogan for her. So I say, well, when you push her on your page, you say that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's not new to this.
I like to say she is grounded, she is qualified, and she is day one ready. Whoever came up with day one ready, I just love it. I put it on everything. And someone told me, maybe last week, I think they told me, you and I, stop saying she's day one ready. I says, no, I believe she's day one ready. No, I'm going to continue.
Day one ready.
She is day one ready. I believe she is the one who could get sworn in on Monday, sit in that seat on Thursday and have a conversation from beginning to end, be able to question, push back when need to be. And, of course, Thomas Scott is as well. He knows how to do that budget and do everything that needs to be done as well. But I'm looking to.
But is he going to get in that budget and call balls and stripes?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to discuss that.
Have you? Let me ask you this: have you ever seen where they were 10 toes down with the community as opposed to the administration?
So when he was running, although I have supported him on every election that he ran, okay, and particularly for mayor, I was just so mad with the community because a lot of Black people didn't want to get.
They didn't want it. Yeah.
I don't know why. Because we are not, like I said, we're immature. We let people divide us and all of this stuff. But I am Black first. I am very pro-Black. I'm very pro-community. So, of course, I thought he was qualified because he had sat on city council, I think 1 term. I don't know if it was 2 term or 1, but I know he sat on county commission for 2 terms. So he understood, and he could have did just as well as Bob, if not better. Definitely Jane Castor. She's just a police chief. So yeah, I don't know. And I wasn't really that involved because during that time I was, raising my daughter. So I didn't have time to really get involved like I am when my daughter got in high school. 2013 is really when I started. Most things we would do was just push stuff through our shop. I wouldn't be out walking and all of that, doing things like that. I think the first real campaign was Sky White, and I was against him on that one.
I remember.
And I think it wasn't that I was against him. She might have reached me first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you were looking for something different. You wanted to see some change.
And by then, because when I really woke up and just said and looked at East Tampa and said, how did we let this happen? Because growing up over there, it was a thriving business, a thriving neighborhood. We had everything. It was self-sustained. And I felt like, and I still feel like, it's mostly like a motel. It's not a community. It's not even a hotel. It's a cheap motel. Somewhere where you just go and sleep. You have to leave that community to go to work. You have to leave that community to go do anything fun. You have to leave that community to go really eat. And I was like, I just want a goddamn movie theater, a skating rink. I want something. If I was living here, or I remember one night we were all out in the Honky Tonk. I don't know what it's called on Osborne. You remember
Osborne?
And we used to go there just to have a beer, listen to some music I like, and I like that. And then when it closed down, I was like, damn it, man, we have nowhere to go. I could walk out my front door and really just walk across the street and get anything I want.
In other neighborhoods, but in this one, it's challenging. Yeah, that's why
this is what we're pushing for now. And we have to make sure that the person sitting in that seat understand that. And Allison understand that. Now,
Allison definitely.
I don't know if Reverend Scott understands it simply because he was already there. And I don't know how they did not push for more. And how did they let all of the previous city council let East Tampa and even Sulphur Springs go down like that?
East Tampa, Sulphur Springs. What I can't understand, and this is my thing with, how do you all allow, even if you're not a city council member, say, how do you allow 21 years of being ignored where that CRP is not even discussed?
Yeah.
Not even discussed.
Yeah.
Why was there no innovative ideas to eliminate some of the blight without, I'm not a city council member.
Right.
I was a real estate professional that's trying to assess why things are not changing and how we can make some movement and how we can clean some of this stuff up and how we can be at the table as it relates to development. Hey, can we start a process? And so I call BS because I'm not seeing, not just one particular person. I'm saying as a whole, how has this been ignored for 21 years?
I believe that, and I don't want to really hamper on it, but what we do know, we have to have forward-thinking people. And we have to have people who understand, who knows how to push it forward. And I don't want to just put it on one council.
No,
because
right.
the other 3 at-large people, we're going to have to start holding them more accountable.
Well, what you're saying is because we started relying on them more heavily,
yes,
they have been involved.
Yes.
Because I think they realized we didn't have representation, or at least it's perceived that I don't have representation, even with somebody occupying the seat. So they've been more involved. They've jumped in to say, hey, we need some answers on why this isn't happening. Oh, I came over to East Tampa and I saw this. Can we address why this is happening? So we have a little bit more now. But in that D5 seat moving forward, when stupid stuff come up, like, do y'all want 14% or 30%? They smart enough to know that math didn't math.
But the craziest thing, I remember when I was watching it, Lynn Herchurch jumped in immediately. And she said something to the effect, I'm paraphrasing, now you sure? Because this doesn't sound right. Something
Seems
like
really low.
Yes, very low. And I think they were afraid of going more bully style,
Well, because in our community, we say things like, oh, they think they're the great white hope. We say, oh, they think they know our community better. So sometimes we sabotage ourselves with the mindset when we go get these people. Listen, community, we go get Bill Carlson. You want to know why? You want to know why? He's a Harvard grad.
Yes.
He lived in Singapore. He spends his money and time and resources in East Tampa trying to invest and make it better. We go see Bill because he would be vote number 2. We call Lynn because she also sees it. She's a resident of Seminole Heights. She's very aware of what's happening because we call her. We call Guido Maniscalco because Guido is a very neutral individual, but we still call Guido. We will call Vieira and say we need a meeting. We don't call Charlie that much because Charlie, but we call the other 4 on purpose. So when you see them saying, well, I received some calls from East Tampa, that's why. We understand there are 4 votes and we need 4. So we go lobby, we go call the other council members because they should be concerned about the city as a whole. And they have to make votes in the city. We don't want them deciding blindly. So we bring them over to East Tampa so you can come get a glimpse of what's happening. And so because we begin to embrace it that way now, they are going to have some insight. I don't want a person sitting in that seat that's ignorant and will say, well, why are you coming over to my district? Why are you over here? Because we called them.
And they don't really understand that they represent that district too. They represent every district. And I was going to make the correlation with Lynn. So if Gwen understood how city council worked, and we know that she didn't, apparently she did no studying before, because you will realize, I immediately realized, because I remember how Lynn really got the seat. She was appointed as well. But she was, I believe, well diverse, and it was a good pick.
She was.
I wasn't in support of her, but when they picked her, this is a woman who does her research, and that's what you need. And I just learned that by watching, and I could tell when we're watching who have studied that budget on Thursday, because if you could have something that's really, really important to the community and someone just asks the presenter one or two questions, and you could tell when they don't know, because you could look in their eyes and tell they really don't understand what's going on. But you know that Lynn has done the research. She's going to dig. She's going to even maybe get the presenter a little agitated because she knows it's bullshit.
She's asking questions. She calling balls and stripes.
She calling balls and stripes. She calling balls and stripes.
Yes.
And that is what we need. And you would see Gwen, and she was just big, you know.
This. And so we don't need this.
Yeah.
You should know your messaging. You should know what it is you're trying to move forward. Can't nobody tell you what to do.
If you're trying to push somebody else narrative, you're gonna mess up in real time.
No water carrier. Yeah. No lapdog, no water carrier. None of that. We can't afford it. It's cost us too much. 21 years of being ignored is very expensive.
Oh, very. And then, you know, we have to hold the mayor. We have to hold the mayor responsible. We have to hold a lot of people responsible. And we, the community, have dropped the ball. Simply because when you look at that budget and nothing is really coming into East Tampa, that should be a goddamn problem for everybody. For everybody. Because they pay taxes over there. Yeah.
And it's not that nothing comes over there. We were not using that budget, but we're starting to see projects move. And you can say thanks to Allison Hewitt and Councilmember Orlando Gould, Keela McCaskill, as we decided to push towards the pre-development, the special debate, all of those projects, even though right now they got it twisted again. The people with the money is at the front of the line when it's supposed to be benefiting the people that doesn't have the money. And that's why they need a special purpose grant that includes pre-development and the hard cost construction to bring transformation. So we'll get that together after a while. We waited long enough in the fight to do it, but you're starting to see some movement. She didn't have to do anything. And I'm going to go back to when you talked about Lynn. Lynn was a neighborhood leader.
Yes. Lynn she understands.
And Councilmember Carlson has his meetings. That's another reason he spends his money on the people. He has coffee with Bill where all the neighborhoods come together. So you know who's doing what in their neighborhood. You come together, you understand who people are. She was on the VRB, the Variance Review Board. She was sitting in those same exact seats as City Council. So she was very aware of the zoning, the neighborhood issues. And so when people are neighborhood issues, they understand the advocacy. They understand the BS that's happening at City Council. So they're a little bit more of a dog, if you will, in the fight versus somebody just signing, just blindly signing.
And don't understand a goddamn thing and don't really understand. They don't understand the process. They don't understand the system. And even with, I can remember how I think she might have was trying to change her tone a little towards the end. Like, don't understand how when you're running in a race, you running your race, we running our race. After the race is over, you represent everybody. And all things are neutral and clear now. But she was snappy, even like to Stephanie, even like the woman in Brandon. She is not our enemy. She has helped our community a lot, advising, bringing us into these neighborhoods, understanding how to move, understanding what we should get. And when you're trying to be divisive, then you would see her as an enemy.
Right. And because she brings value to all neighborhoods. And then that woman want to get up there
and she's doing it for free. And she's doing it for free. And you don't, I mean, she doesn't know what she's talking about. No, she's talking about her.
And then want to say she's a Karen when she's more of a sister than she will ever be. She's more of an ally than she will ever be. She spends her time studying what's best for all communities. You know, there's been times that people were up there with no representation trying to fight for their neighborhood. And she would say, we got to help this community out.
Say, I wasn't here to speak on that, but I heard them speaking and I'm going to come up and help them out. Here's
Right.
what needs to be done, A, B,
Right.
because she know her stuff.
Right.
She will be another person that will be good to sit on council because she
Listen,
knows and understands.
I hope she runs for Bill
I will
Carlson
vote for her because,
as he
like
becomes
I
the
said,
mayor. Pointer for city council.
yes,
Bill's
yes,
district.
because that is what we need: conscious people who know. It can no longer be about black and white. It can't be because she's my sorority sister. We got to get people representing us with substance, and this is why we're losing. It
That's why
is
we're
why
losing.
our communities are losing.
Been costly, very expensive,
Very costly.
very
Yes,
costly. Well, this has been a great chat.
it has.
I hope that people remember what we started out saying. Very important that you share with your friends over drinks, cigars, pillow talk, dinner, lunch, breakfast, coffee. There's a special election going on in your area if you in D5. Not only that, you need to make sure that you're registered to vote in this special election. Number two. Number three, we need you to actually vote on September 9th. And it does not matter what party. It does not matter what party the candidate is in. Our candidate, Allison, the one and only, the fabulous, the talented, the amazing, the genius, Allison Hewitt, community advocate number one. I don't know anybody that has served in their community as much as this woman has and does it happy. She's happy about doing it. She's happy about reading budgets and overlays and policy and all that, and then love writing it and making it government speak, all of that good stuff. That's our candidate. That's what we want to see win. That's what we want to see better this community. So I was saying all that to say that's what matters in this nonpartisan race.
One more thing. I would ask the community, whoever you decide to get behind, do your research. Go look them up. Go look them up, see what they've done.
Yep, line by line.
You will know what they would do by what they have already done.
Correct. Look for the receipts.
And if you agree that whoever gets in this seat in the next less than 2 years, that person cannot be on the job training.
Right.
It just can't be. Not at this time.
Too expensive.
Yes. And if they have political aspirant, they need to start working in the community, getting on boards, working with the neighborhoods, understanding how the system works. It's the only way. So I would say to you, vote for who you want. We're supporting Allison, but look them up and look up Allison.
Call people.
You don't even have to go to her campaign page. You could go to her campaign page, but still, just Google them.
If you're not aware and you're not in your community active, call the people that you know active. Go look at city council. You can go to YouTube. Enter. I'm going to do it right now so I can tell you how to get this. How you're going to educate yourself so you know you made a good choice. Go in because you know how some of the people, you know, they was voting for Donald Trump. And now they regret.
Now they have voting regret. Now they have voting regret.
Yes. You want to research. Go to Google, right? Enter into Google CCTV City of Tampa, CCTV City of Tampa. And let me see if City Council pops up. So when it comes up, it's going to say watch on demand. Click watch CCTV on demand and then do meetings on demand, right? And in there, it's going to give you a long list of all the meetings for City Council or CRA. And the reason I'm telling you to do that is because you'll get to hear some of the discussions that's had, what these people vote on, how involved they are in your local politics and how much it affects you. But you also get to see who's been down there advocating for you. And if you see a candidate, check what they're down there advocating for. If you see people that you always see down there, call them and ask them, who they're voting for and why. Then you go do your research and see if that candidate aligns with what you believe is the right thing for your community, and then you vote. But you don't have a whole lot of time because this is a special election. Do that now. You bored at home, don't watch TV. Go to Google, put in City of Tampa, CCTV. It's going to bring up meetings on demand. You click on those meetings on demand, City Council or CRA, and it's going to give you all the meetings. You go all the way back for years, honey. And I can tell you right now, for 5, 6, 7 of those years, I know you're going to see Allison Hewitt because she has been down there consistently advocating for you, writing programs, pushing for implementation of programs to assist you as a homeowner, the tree trimming, the owner-occupied rehab, the revision of it, the pre-development grants, the commercial grants, the betterment of the
roofing grants,
the roofing grant. She helped me write the request to address the probate in our city. She helped me write the information up, send it to the city to say, we need to do something about this probate. Let's implement a program whereby we offer some dollars towards probate so we can get these blighted homes out of this community. For the ones that's empty and blighted, but Lula may didn't have her will or estimate and have her estate planning in order, what you can do is put a program together for that so we can eliminate that. Allison Hewitt helped write all of that. Like, for years and years and years and years and years. You're going to see her face there. You're going to see Connie Burton. You're going to see many people there that's been advocating on your behalf. Call them and ask them who they voting for. Call them and ask who would be the best fit for this role. Just because they're there, they know what's happening. You know you at work. You know you ain't watching. You know you can't be bothered. Find somebody that knows.
Yeah.
Because it matters. It's very important. Don't be like them people that voted for Donald Trump. And now that they have all the information in front of them because they didn't do their homework, now they upset because they made a decision because it impacted them negatively out the gate. He ain't even been in office 6 months good. Well, 12 months good. And it done impacted so many different people for some horrible situations. You don't want to be that person. So I just wanted to say that. Mona, do you have anything else you want to close us out with? It's been a great chat.
It's been a great chat. I think
informative.
Yes. Just get out and vote.
Get out and vote. Mm-hmm. We told you our candidate. Where our sign? That's who we want to see. Yes, Allison Hewitt. She is not new to this, but she's true to this. And that's who we want. Somebody true to the game, true to the call, true to the seat, can add value to the role, can even possibly share some information for the sitting council members. Because maybe they didn't know some of the things that she knows and how it applies. It can actually direct this attorney that we hired that we never see, that works from his phone, and he represents 10 or 12, 15 other counties, but he's supposed to be for our CRA. Like those kind of things, she can go in and address that. She can go in and demand we get our money's worth. These people on this city staff is lazy. We want somebody that understands that the quality is not, the metrics not there. We paying you this much and we get this much work. This is not happening. We're going to divide these roles up. Some of y'all going to have to move around. We're going to do what's best for the people in this city. And we need somebody that can get for the votes to make sure we get what's best for us. Being good stewards of taxpayer dollars is very important. You need to be fiscally responsible because right now they spend their money, honey, like this monopoly money. And it's your hard working money. You
and it ain't benefiting us. I mean, it's just
right. We can't even get 25% of our park that they don't pay taxes 20, 30 years in this area, and they can't even get 25% to come back to the people. But yet you put these white people, wealthy people, in position to take away over $36 million, and the black people only get $4 million. Nowhere does that compute to make sense. Not even, I mean, a cursory review of that information would have told you this is a big mistake.
That was crazy.
That's so crazy.
I'll say this before I leave. My dad, he was a professional roofer. And I can remember in the 70s, the company he worked for, they were putting the roof on Sears at university, but they were doing the auto part. They were doing the standalone mechanic part. And we,
Mhm.
during the summertime, we used to go over there and take him lunch. And I'm saying this to say this because blight contractors, they children and they family would have been proud to say my dad or my mom had a part in building and helped shaping East Tampa. And nobody even thinks of that. I mean, that woman, that was her job to think of that.
Yeah. When you
And
don't have the background, you don't have the look at how they got in the role in the seat.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
And so, I think it also being not being effective in that role caused people to say, "Oh, I can do that."
Yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah,
do that. I can
yeah.
do that.
Because really, I'm sorry, you can't. You
You
can't.
can't.
You're not qualified.
If it's
You
done right, it's
you
a full-time
simply
job.
you simply not qualified to do this job. And at one point, that job was just like part time. But times are moving. And we realize that these people sometimes at city council from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
In the
Sometimes when I
morning.
come home and I'm like, wow, city council still going on 1 o'clock in the morning. So,
Yeah,
no.
we want somebody to understand what's going on in that seat. And that person, we already told you that
We have smart,
we can go on and on and on about our candidate. Listen,
we have smart people who are getting behind, and for the life of me, I can't understand this. We have so-called, I'll say, but they're not politically smart, because if you were politically smart, you will put aside friendship, you will put aside symbolism, and you would do what was best for the community.
right.
She is not best for the community.
Mm-mm.
Nowhere is she best for this community.
Well, and there's some people in there that's some good people. Like I said,
Oh, I'm sure.
you got some folks in there that I absolutely adore. But based on being ignored, underdeveloped, underfunded, just a bunch of under.
Yes.
Let me say it that way. A bunch of stuff we under.
Just
We
under.
our income gap, the disparities are ridiculous. The opportunities that's made available is ridiculous. So we need somebody that can help build the foundation of where we need to be, put those layers on top so that we can thrive. We don't have to be a channel side. We can have a unique mix of who we are as a community, and that's who we become. And it
And
makes
we're not going to be a China side, and I don't think we're
never.
trying to get there, but we definitely want to be a working middle class neighborhood.
Well, one of the things that I look forward to seeing is that Council Member Bill Carlson is working with Fran Tate right now, has been for a while. They've been working to rebuild the brand of the partnership.
Yes.
Because Council Member Carlson, he's Tucker Hall, he's a PR firm. And so his firm, let me take away, not Council Member Bill Carlson, but Bill Carlson is helping Fran Tate and through his firm to rebrand East Tampa. Now, I know that's not the whole D5. I ain't slow. But particularly in D5, because one of the things he shared with us, this is why I love, don't come telling me nothing about why I don't need to vote for Bill Carlson. Because I ain't never seen Bob, nor Jane, nor Sandy, none of them do what I'm seeing Bill do. He said, hey guys, in East Tampa, when you look it up, you see all the bad. When you guys come share, it's all the bad.
Yeah.
What do you love about East Tampa? So we threw some words at the board. It's like a vision board session. So we threw some of the words there. And then he said, we need to go get a student. I like to go get a student from Tampa Bay Tech, because at Tampa Bay Tech, they've produced some of the best entrepreneurs in the city. Let's face it, everybody not going to college. Right. So they put in at Tampa Bay Tech, they have some of the best programs. Let's go get a photographer from over at Tampa Bay Tech. I went and pulled from the architects at Tampa Bay Tech, or those students that's studying architecture from Tampa Bay Tech.
Drafting. Is it still called drafting?
Well, they have an architectural program because
my brother graduated from Tampa Bay Tech in '78 under drafting, and he went on to be
successful engineer. Yes. So So I love the fact that he's pulling from the youth. Let's employ them to do something in the community to help rebrand, re-envision, reimagine East Tampa. Put the website together, put the logo together. So the partnership is slowly becoming a powerful force to help bring all of the best ideas, the vision to East Tampa. But all of that is coming from Bill and Fran.
And you remember, and I think it was 2018, we paid this firm out of Orlando, I believe, all this money to do that, and they did nothing.
Did nothing.
And I think it's all by design.
Oh yeah, that was somebody's friend.
Yes,
somebody's friend. They paid him $200,000 to walk around the pond.
We paid them all that money for nothing.
Walked around the pond for how much?
Right. I don't know. I think we paid them out close to $300,000. 5 meetings, and I was like, "What?" I see. I voted against it.
Sign me up for that job. It's criminal. Somebody need to go to jail.
It was criminal, and I was like, and we have people in these seats that don't understand that. Should have said no. The community want to see results.
Yes. So we said all this tonight, guys, to say replay this video back. Let's get some good information in here. Not just because it's us, but we really want to put out the information that's going to help you be an informed voter. You need to be an informed voter. You need to understand what's happening in the community. You need to see at the end of the day what's going on and who we do not represent. Hell no, we don't support them in our community. They don't go back to Brand. Our sister Stephanie Porter gave us the marching orders for 2025 all the way until the end of time. Go back to your neighborhood. Go be divisive over there. Go tell lies over there. Go be deceitful over there. Over here in East Tampa, over here in District 5, we want a better community. We want people working together. We want to come together all over this city to make District 5 the absolute best that it can be, because it's been ignored for 21 years. District 5 has been ignored, underdeveloped, underserved. And that includes West Tampa, some of Tampa Heights, some of Seminole Heights, Sulphur Springs, East Tampa. It goes on forever. It's a piece of Temple Terrace. I mean, all of that is D5. And so we know that it needs representation. And we just share with you some of the reasons the person that we love and adore, Allison Hewitt, is the best pick. You do your homework. And until when are you guys doing your show, Mona?
We're gonna I Am Black Independent will be going live Sunday at 6, I believe.
So make sure you share that so people can follow, because there's some good information that you guys give out there. I look forward to seeing the show. We look forward to seeing you out in the community as we get Allison Hewitt elected as our next District 5 Sitting Council woman. Have a good night.
Good night.
We out. Thank you for joining.